and cheese with bro.
Mac and cheese. Mac and cheese.
I'm building you up with all these easy ones.
Hey, I'm saying.
This one might be a little more difficult.
Helium.
Got it.
What's that laughing gas?
Helium.
Cooper, it has to be my cousin.
Laughing gas.
It's not mode.
Is it laughing? Laughing all the way. Oh, laughing gas.
Chick-fil-A gave that you.
That's spring chicken. It's like that dog.
Spring
Spring
chicken.
chicken.
Cooper's Roblox skin.
Who knows what a spring chicken is?
Yeah.
No.
Spring chicken.
Mr. Hale's not a spring chicken anymore.
Where you? Oh, in Cooper.
So spring chicken is your
Yes,
dog.
Leah, that's
You guys are all spring chickens.
Yeah.
slash.
Cut me some slack. Actually, a release slack.
Cut the slash.
Cut out the slack.
Cut the slack.
Cut out the
Cut
slack.
out.
Cut me some slack.
Cut it out.
Cut me some slack.
Oh.
Do
Do
not
Do
quit.
not quit. Never quit.
No quitting.
Never quit. Never give up. Never give
Never
up.
give up. No,
Both of the things say no. So no.
Do you want to quit?
no. No choice. Got no choice.
Balancing option.
Oh, now we're getting close.
What?
No options.
Windows 10 error.
What did you say? Oh, Windows 10.
No choice.
Oh no.
Only no.
Now you got all the parts you need.
Not a choice.
No options.
No choice.
No options.
If you know, you know.
Do not.
Quitting is not a choice.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
No choice but no.
If you know,
That's
you
usually not what you tell somebody.
No
Uh,
choice.
What
Do
do
it.
you
No
You don't
choice.
have a choice. No quitting.
I don't know what to choose.
Don't quit.
Um,
Never
double
give
no.
up.
I know the
One or
answer.
the other. Never quit. And what is it?
Go we get in.
That was my answer.
Tina, they were help me.
no quitting unless.
No, no.
I do not want to quit doing these.
Never quit in life.
Wait, there's like a blue thing.
So you have the first part.
Alert,
Quitting
do not
is
quit.
Not a, and you have
Option.
to
Quitting is not an option.
Quitting is not an option.
Quitting is not an option.
We said that.
We said that.
Yeah.
You did. You said quitting
Is that a choice?
We
is
said
not a choice.
No, someone said quitting.
Yeah,
someone.
someone-
It's not an option.
Yeah.
Then we need to start raising our hands.
No,
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not a spring chicken.
Smile.
Emoticon.
Smiley face.
Smile keys.
It's a smiley face.
It is, but that's not
The key to smiling.
Happy. Isaiah, what happens when you press both of them at the same time?
I need to see hands.
The key to happiness.
The keys to happiness.
The keys to happiness.
Oh.
Good job, Emily.
Hey. I
Whoa.
really like taking these trips. They help me remind that I'm in control of my life.
Control of your life.
Remote.
In control.
A remote island.
I was gonna say.
So this is where they go when I can't find them in the couch.
This is where they go when I can't find them under the couch.
That's what these are ones that got off the internet. These are one. This is one Mr. Hell made, so they're always the hardest.
B movie.
Country, B, like.
Migration.
Murder hornets.
America,
United States of America.
City. UBC.
America, B, lake.
United Bees of America.
Guys, you have to.
United. Oh. Like
USB?
United oh. Country,
USB.
City.
What?
Country.
Wait, Maddie, raise it.
USB cord or something like
Say it again.
that? USB cord? Or just
Say
USB?
USB. Oh,
USB
what?
port.
port.
USB port?
Oh,
I was like, oh, it's USB. Oh yeah, Maddie, that's right. It's USB. Wait, that's a port.
USB port. Where's that at?
That was good.
I don't know. The back of it.
USB port.
Ooh.
So it's on my computer there.
Leaf spring.
Sneaky spring.
Actually, leaf spring is good metal to work with.
Wait, say that.
Sneaky spring. Wall spring.
Oh!
Mary,
Spring height.
I know.
Ava,
Spring trap.
I know.
Spring is right around the corner.
spring is right.
Yeah.
Wow.
control.
Mary.
You're missing the key point or something? Missing key. No
Lucius.
control. You're not in control. No. Losing control?
That's okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
Well, that one's obvious.
Yeah.
I see mail.
French muffin.
That's Mr. Muffin.
It looks like
The muffin man. A Fabrito.
French toast? French villain?
You don't know French, huh?
French toast.
French.
Fire top.
Italian?
Burgermeister.
Oui, oui.
Gentle Muffin.
Muffin man. Wait.
The muffin man.
Isaiah?
English muffin?
English.
Sorry, oh, that's pretty good. What do you think? That's pretty good, right?
I know, right?
Kanye high.
Mike Tyson.
Kanye high.
What's the name of
Rockabye baby.
It's a
Rockabye the
Oh, that's.
Very
No, that is too.
Mike Tyson?
That's not Mike Tyson.
Tell us who it is.
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Oh my
Rockabye
That's
baby.
all good. That's
It looks like a
Cooper.
like Godfrey.
Shut up so Cooper can think. Straight.
Rockabye baby. It's like Mr. T from
Wait, what is that position?
Mr. T from
I don't know.
That's Tyrone.
The fresh Tyrone.
It's
Last chance.
It's Mr. T
No.
from Rocky.
No. What do we want to hit?
Rocky Bye baby.
No, you can't have it because I've already heard it.
You already heard it?
I've
Rockabye
heard the
baby.
two parts that haven't been put together.
Rockabye the baby.
Rock and roll?
No.
I don't know.
Baby, it's called outside.
That's be Tyrone.
Angry Bird.
Can you give us
Who's the wrestler? Oh, God.
No, I've already heard both answers. You just didn't put them together.
The baby cradle.
Rockabye baby. In the tree.
Tyrone and
No.
Tyrone in the trees.
Somebody told you this guy's name
Tyrone. Baby.
was Mr. T.
Mr. T.
You are so
That was
smart.
me.
But you didn't put it together.
Oh.
Mr. T.
Mr. T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
I'm just happy that I know what it is. That was bothering me.
Yeah.
I was just like, I know who you are.
I don't know who you
Rockabye the baby.
What is your name?
I don't know. He looked like someone from Rocky, so I just said rock and roll.
Look, search your feelings.
You're so wrong.
He'd be saying, "You fools! You don't know what the T is!
Bloody slave. We'll finish you.
You
What?
fool!"
Dude, this is a wrestling match. Don't fit.
Hey, this person has a choice whether they want to be in our play today. Aaron,
We can see the cards.
do you want to
Be
be
a
in
hunter.
play today?
Say no.
There are two roles in the play. We already said. What's the two roles?
The name
Adventures and Natives.
Natives and traders.
Okay, fur traders. We need two fur traders.
I want to be a native.
Do we have furs to trade?
Two natives.
I want to be a native.
Aaron wants to be a native, he said.
You want to be a native? Okay, you got to think of a name for yourself.
Wait.
Kiki Waka Ewok.
Aaron Walker.
Like so
Okay,
many
this
leaves.
person has a
Everyone.
choice. This person has a choice.
Me, please.
Ava.
I want to be in the fur trade.
Furry trait.
I want to be a native.
Kiki Waka
I
Ewok.
want to be.
Aaron Walker.
Oh wait, no, I want to be a native.
No.
Wait, you're
I
what?
want to be a native.
I put you up for fur trader already.
Is a fur trader somebody who has the fur and is trading it, or somebody who's trading for the fur?
Trading for the furs.
Oh no, I want to be a native.
Okay.
Too bad.
She already.
Oh, before I'm doing this, why don't you pass your assignments up? Put your names on.
I didn't do the backside.
I had headache.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really. There's a backside?
I did.
I did it.
Harry E.
There's two A's. You have to erase it.
Sorry, she's a be a fur trader or not be in the play?
I'll be a fur trader.
James, you have yours?
I want to be.
So our last fur trader, if they choose. So Avery.
What was that?
I'm like,
God, please.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
I want to be a fur trader.
I want to be a furry, please, God.
Starting to kill furries and sell
Hey,
their
there's already
costumes.
2 girls already in there.
I'll kill furries and sell their costumes.
We need Aaron and me to do a secret handshake.
Okay, the last. Put it on the other one over there. Maddie P.
Yay! Yes, Mary. Yeah, Mary, real treasure hunt. What? Yeah, I'm a furry.
Aaron, what's your name?
Kiki
What's your native name? With a K? Kiki Waka or Tiki Waka?
Tiki. Tiki.
Huh?
Tiki.
Is that a T?
The tiki room.
Tiki Waka or Aaron.
Ava, what's yours?
Kiki Waka.
Tiki Waka and Kiki Waka.
No, you should have been Kiki Waka.
Oh, they should be the ones who should be.
Okay, who are fur traders?
Me.
Fur trader was,
Maddie P. Bush.
what's your name?
Maddie P.
George Maddie Bush.
Would there be women fur
Mike
traders?
Wazowski.
Maddie people.
Mike Wazowski.
There weren't women fur traders.
Yeah.
Maddie people.
Maddie Peabody.
So what names would they have?
Jorno.
They would
Goku.
have French names or
Labier.
Jean-Pierre Polonara.
Panera.
Polonara.
Panera.
I know a good French.
Maddie P. Bush.
Yeah.
John W.P. Bush.
I would have chosen
John
Jean-Pierre
W.P.'d in a bush.
Boucher? How about Boucher?
Mr.
Yeah.
Boucher.
Boucher. Maddie, Mr. Boucher.
Can I be Mr.
Bougie.
Mr. George?
Mr. George.
Mr. Pat.
Mr. George Washington.
Mr. George.
Washington.
So our two natives get together and decide what you have furs, and you decide what you're wanting. And let's have our two fur traders come up here. We need
Aaron, you want
Wait, that's who
trading post. I'll borrow your desk. Yeah, bring your chair.
What?
Get your chair.
Don't touch my chair. No.
Oh no, traffic jam. I don't want to be. Are we in cars?
You're behind your desk.
Here, let me move. So I can
What's
see
your AK-47? My brother.
Post. Okay. Natives come in. Ready?
I'm in
Action.
spot. We want guns and glass beads.
Is that how native talks?
Yeah.
I need guts.
Give me the first one. Give me guns.
So what are you looking for? So the natives looking for guns? How many guns are you looking for?
One gun.
One musket?
Yes.
You're deciding. You're
Oh,
the one
no,
doing the
we
trading here.
We want 4 guns.
I'm writing it down.
I want an M16. Come on, with
Four
the
muskets.
scope. With the scope. The SLK system.
What else?
The silencer. The silencer.
No stock. No stock.
Black beads.
You can't have a musket without ammo.
Reinforced barrel.
Got the M60.
Laser sight.
100 round mags. 100 round mags. And this has absolutely no recoil.
160 rounds.
How much does it cost?
That's why I got a sniper scope.
Why the K?
160 round mags.
Wait, like, what's the measurement?
Puts no stock in 100 rounds. This
It would be about.
Zero recoil.
But, like, what do we call it?
magic dancing square.
Magic kills it.
What is MC squared?
Okay, it would be about
Newton's
like
laws.
this.
Can we have candy?
It would be about a keg of gunpowder.
I shall not be seen.
We want 2 guns.
So,
I'll take an M4A1.
2 kegs of gunpowder.
Right here. Reinforced.
Oh, I'm not seen.
And we want 70 bullets.
7.
Remember, they don't sell the bullets usually as bullets. What do they sell it as?
Metal.
Metal lavender.
They sell a block of lead.
And 3 blocks of lead.
That's a lot.
I know.
How are you gonna carry that lead? You're just gonna be like, oh, thanks.
They have a big guy named Joe.
Stocking up.
What happens
Okay.
is that if the bullet
Go
doesn't
ahead.
hit them, lead poisoning.
So, you would have had to. Could they just come in and say we want this? They would have had to what?
Trade.
How would it? Because could they communicate?
No, they'd be like a translator.
Sometimes the fur traders could what?
Understand.
Understand some,
What do we have to
okay?
write it down?
But they're definitely not going to understand who.
Cooper.
Them, usually.
We
Okay?
need to write down.
So you would have had to done with hand signals. And we didn't get to see act it out here. Let's see you act this out.
Yeah, so I want to say, y'all got.
Go ahead, act it out.
Okay.
Gang, gang,
We want
what's
the
on
4 guns. And
Gang. Gang.
5 strands of beads.
Oh, yep.
And
Let's go.
2 kegs of gunpowder. And 3 blocks of lead.
It's more visible.
You want to answer this, Aaron? You're just kind of standing there.
Not Aaron.
Kiki Waka's the talker.
Yeah.
Tiki Waka.
All right. So what's your answer?
That just looks weird.
Me?
The invisible Bob right here. Hello.
We would like.
Excuse me. Oh.
We would like.
Now, if you were laughing in this trade transaction, these people would become what?
Hostile.
Offended. What's going to happen to the trade?
It's
It's not going to happen. Okay?
You guys are gonna get shot.
Give me your gun.
I'm happy so
How much is it?
Yo, what up, Freddy?
We would like. Help.
Or towels?
Help what?
Oh,
Fur.
Help of what?
Fur.
Beaver.
Beaver. Beaver flap.
BFL.
Beaver flap flap.
Beaver fur.
For what? For all of it?
No, that's not.
And 2
Fox fur.
Translated.
fox.
Cradle
Fox. Fox. Fur.
That's it?
Translation.
We got 2 fox furs.
Let's go.
And you muskrat.
Is that it?
It's a big.
That's the muskrat with the
6.
And we need
Yes, and we need
a bird. One.
The big bugs. One. Butts.
No, like
One. Whoa.
have to decide. So they
Fred?
communicated.
You watching this?
This is a good trade for
I
you.
missed you, bud.
Yes. We should do.
I hope you know.
Yeah.
Touch fingers. Touch
You got a barter here. Is that, if you're happy with that, you say agreed.
We should.
Yes, agree.
Just
Deal or no deal?
cut out the function and just do. We should
It
do
goes
three
like that.
beavers.
That's a ripoff.
That's a ripoff. No, it's not. It's a canoe.
No comments from the crowd. You're your audience. You don't talk.
We wanna do 2 phosphorus
He's just looking over.
and 3 beaver furs. And 1 canoe.
Hold on.
There shall be no more Koopa. No, Koopa. Koopa.
And then
Should I give you 2?
only 2 blocks left.
You're gone.
Okay, 2 bless you.
Nope, you're in frame now. Fred has to see.
Everything except
Yes.
only 2 blocks left.
Wait, no. Yes.
You're gonna move.
Everything.
You don't sit like this. You sit like this. Curl up into a ball.
Okay,
Anytime.
you guys going with that?
Yes.
Jax is that fast.
So how would you acknowledge this?
Shake
Yeah,
hands.
he curls up into a ball.
No, I don't want to.
Keep the leg.
Okay, let's sit down.
What? We didn't give him
We
the
didn't
stuff.
get our leg. Oh, you
No, you push your leg.
Hey, you
You
still
literally,
suck.
like, in maths, you literally just egg.
Go ahead and sit down.
That.
Right here.
Now we have to decide.
James,
Okay?
Danny Phantom goes.
You guys get
James
to
goes
decide.
egg.
We gonna do something?
Okay?
James, use your ultimate power. Egg.
Like.
Egg.
How many think this was a good trade for the fur traders?
Because they even trade.
No.
No, only the 2
Yes.
fur traders?
I don't know.
Fur traders means it.
How are we supposed to know?
2 fur traders, anyone else?
No, I
think this is
think
a
it
good
was-
trade for the fur traders?
Yes.
Good trade.
Raise your hand if you think it's a good trade for the
Good
fur
trade.
traders.
No. Bad trade.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But you have
7, 8. Your hand up? 9.
It took us like
9.
years to make that canoe.
How many think it was a good trade for the natives? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We got more people here than in class.
Oh wait, you couldn't raise your hand for both?
Yeah, but it took a long time to make a canoe. It's
We have
also
one
very
more person.
valuable.
It took us 3 weeks to make that.
Why are these guys at a disadvantage? Okay, this would have been at the very beginning, okay? The very beginning, if this was the very first trade transaction that ever occurred. Because that's what this would have been like. Because both sides, what?
Didn't know the value of the.
Didn't know the value of their item. Well, the Englishman would know their value, but how much their things cost them. The Englishmen were at an advantage because they knew how much their things cost them, plus they knew how much what?
The fur would cost.
How much the fur would bring them. So in the trading part here, the advantage belonged to who?
The Ojibwe.
It belonged to the fur traders. Because they knew the value of the beaver skins. They knew how much they could sell them for in England or France. Okay? And they also knew how much their goods cost that they brought out to them. But eventually there became a basis for the value. So let's look to see. Let's look to see if they have made a good trade or not.
That canoe took us 3 weeks.
Okay, this is.
I just twisted my foot all the way around.
a trade musket went for?
You guys got scammed.
What did they get?
4.
They got 4 of them.
Or child. You don't know
How
how
much?
No, you didn't got 4.
Or beaver.
Okay? For 4
I know.
beavers, they got 4. What isn't on here though that we don't have?
Canoe.
So that's the intangible here.
The canoe. Gosh.
Okay? The canoe.
Took them a long
The
time.
canoe probably is a higher value in terms of what would the canoe be important for?
Fish.
I mean, trading to other people for lots of other money.
They're not going to bring the canoe back to France, so it's not going to bring them money value. What's the canoe going to be for?
Used to travel to other parts of the world.
Fish.
So traveling within their fur trade area. So it probably is not, definitely it won't have as much value probably as what? As a musket for them. So you can see that the natives, in this case, they made an excellent bargain. And usually that's not how it's going to go. Again, these people are at a disadvantage. Why?
We didn't know how
We didn't know
Okay.
how much things were worth.
We didn't know the value.
We didn't do
So
math.
this gives you a picture then. So even a blanket they could have gotten for 4 beaver.
Men's large.
Okay?
Wait, men's strip.
They overpaid for the bars of lead, though.
What's a buckskin?
A deer skin.
Okay, a deer skin that's been, again, processed. Like the one piece I showed you, the little piece of leather, that was a buckskin.
Oh,
Okay, that was a deer hide.
real?
Okay,
Oh my gosh, a real one? I did not just
Look at
touch
the
that.
second,
You
the second
skin
one.
I did not just touch that. Oh my god,
Yeah.
ew, oh my god.
What I do is I just chop their heads up and go.
there you go.
And then I choke my heart, and then I rip it out and go. I am
So-
WF. That's what you have to do.
Remember what I said for this chapter? We are not taking a test. It is a
Oh, that's
Quiz.
quiz. So any notes you take as we go through some of this stuff, you'll be able to use on the quiz. So if we go back, okay,
Our accents were on point. Mira, our accents were on point.
so this would have showed a fur trading post.
Why does it look a bit scary?
Prepared pelts.
I'm sick of this foot.
Down here you see this. These are actually pelts
That's a lot
that they would bale up.
That is a lot.
Usually they're baled around buckskin hide. So the buckskin wasn't so much for selling back in Europe. The buckskin was to protect those precious beaver hides when they come back to Europe. Now, these are the different groups involved that you're going to need to know for the quiz. You had the Montreal agents. They are the ones that basically own the company. They're wealthy. They're gentlemen. They're the ones that could afford some of these hats.
Shit, look at them pants. Shit. They're your Minecraft pants.
Okay, below the Montreal agents then are the partners. Okay, they're the ones that partly own the company. They live in the interior. The interior, that means they're living in Minnesota, working at the trading post in Minnesota. So these two guys, Mr. George and Mr. Boucher, would have been what? Probably a partner. Again, they were educated men. And they could read and write. What's the term for that?
Intellect.
My graph is giving me.
Illiterate.
They were literate.
Journey.
Literate means they could read and write.
That
You're gonna
was
see
the
a lot of
gymnast.
people involved in the trade was not, and were not.
We were smart.
They were
users.
James.
So again, they had manners and customs that would put them in regular society in Europe. Okay? Below the partners, then you had the clerks. So they would work for the partners.
Yeah.
So they would manage the small trading posts. They served an apprenticeship of 5 to 7. An apprenticeship means basically if you're learning the trade. After those 5 or 6 years, if they accumulate enough, they could become what? They could become a partner.
So are you like born?
So even clerks, most clerks were literate also. This symbol right here, okay, this 20,
You're just going constant.
this is pounds sterling. Okay, that's in silver. $150 back in those periods was a lot of money. Okay. Okay, then you had the guides and the interpreters, whose job it was to connect these fur traders with who? With the natives.
Most people make that.
Many of these guides and interpreters knew some of the language,
$150 in the 60s was
which
like you're a
made them
millionaire.
helpful. And again, like we said, some of these clerks and actually some of the partners would marry native
Marriage.
women,
Mary.
which would help their trade.
Marriage.
What would you marry? Man.
Again, in European society, it would not be
Fat cat.
okay, but in the native area,
Put some whipped
Wait.
okay,
cream. And then you put it-
at the bottom level, and this is the video we're going to watch today.
Voyageurs.
Didn't-
Moana,
didn't-
guys.
At the bottom level are the Voyageurs.
Which what Moana's family
I
was.
wanna see it go.
Aiden has gone egg mode like you do, James. Egg. No, he.
Moana's family, they were Voyageurs.
Some of you aren't tuning in. Some of you aren't writing these things down, and I know you don't have a photographic mind. So when you see this on the quiz, you're gonna what?
Fail probably.
You're gonna fail it.
Oh no.
And since I'm letting you use notes, can you redo quizzes? No.
Can you share? Can you? Are you gonna share it with Like, are you gonna share it in Google Classroom?
Woo!
Darn maps.
The Vietnam War.
This is what Google Maps is for.
Okay. So Montreal is up here. They're gonna come down here. So they're gonna take these canoes full of what?
Trade goods.
Not furs.
Scotland.
The
Trade
trade
goods.
goods, the muskets, the blankets, the beads, okay? They'll have to take some of their own food. So here, they can paddle at speeds of 6 miles per hour. Doesn't seem very fast, but that's basically taking a paddle paddling one every 60 every minute. That means 1 paddle a second. Okay? For 12 to 15 hours a day.
Oh, they must be
Wait,
rich.
But you for 12
It would be like this.
And then if you had, see, a lot of the places, as they're going to show in the movie, were like this one. This one's not as bad, but a lot of them were rapids that you couldn't take your canoe over. So what do you have to do?
Go around it.
You have to portage. Okay? Portage means you get out. You have to unload all of your gear.
Where'd Grady go?
You got to carry the gear as far as the portage was. And then you got to go back and get your canoe. bring it back, and then put it back in
When you forget
after you load up again.
One-eyed Jacks.
So
How long
if
would
you've
that
ever,
take?
how many have been up in the boundary waters and done that?
Not done that specifically, but
Okay,
been.
it's not fun.
I've never gone.
I've never been in the boundary waters, but my daughter decided to talk me into taking kayaks down the St. Croix River. Okay, and we were supposed to portage to get back because there's a dam up by Taylor Falls.
James is dead.
But it would have been a mile portage,
Egg.
and there was no way she could carry the kayak, even one of them. So we were lucky because there was a phone number we could call.
Who are you gonna
They
call?
say, hey, can you come pick us up and take us up here?
Ghostbusters.
Otherwise, okay, we'd have had to struggle our way to try to get it there. So these men had to do it all the time. Okay? So the two classes were the Monsieur de Lord, or called the pork eaters,
You're a pork eater.
and the Hibernauts are the winterers. Okay? The difference was some of them, when they came and got to, what's the big part in Minnesota where they met?
Superior. The Wolf.
We said
The Mississippi River.
Grand
Canyon.
Grand Slam.
Portage.
Yo, you got the tickets.
Grand Portage, where they have this big party. What's the party called?
The Fiesta.
Cinco
Again,
de
these are
Mayo.
terms you need to know for the test.
I
It's
believe
called
it's
the
in
rendezvous.
not even
Okay.
Mexico.
So some of them actually stayed for the winter. Well, the other ones would take the furs that they had gotten and go all the way back. Again, it depends on where your elevations are. Sometimes you're actually paddling against the current,
Oh.
and sometimes you're paddling with the current. And
Wouldn't that be
sometimes you think, well, paddling against it is worse, but sometimes with the current, when the currents are so
Can't
fast,
stop.
okay, it's very deadly. Many people lost their lives as making this journey, okay? So the bourgeois are like that's the term for the owners, the trading partners that we talked about. So we're going to watch this video, or start it anyway. I think it's longer than the time we have left, okay? Which shows, so I think, Fred, I posted the video for you to just watch on your own.
Bye, Fred.
Bye.
Hey, remember Crash Land?
Human inside a computer party.
Go-karts.
I'm at your
Sick.
dad's Fred.
Why?
Yeah, they have go-karts. When we were spinning around.
I think we'll watch about 10 minutes, and then we'll maybe have 5 minutes of current events.